Okay, good afternoon. I have been rather busy. Not that you would see it from this. Very, very quickly, my entire ethos with these is that when I try and build them, I try and build them for as cheap as absolutely possible. I don't really see the point of buying a 32 quid computer, essentially the Raspberry Pi, and then whacking a load more money on top. It doesn't make any sense. Every single time I buy parts, I buy them from China, and I buy them for like 1 or 2 quid. 9 times out of 10 they work. Not every time, 9 times out of 10 they work, and they work well enough for what you pay for it. The inherent problem with that is it takes forever to turn up. Literally forever. Weeks and weeks and weeks for something that cost a couple of quid. So I'm still waiting for 2 cables. I'm waiting for the HDMI cable, and I'm waiting for the SD card extender, which is going to come out the front. However, I will get into what I have done here. As you can see, this is a little bit different. So, very quickly, what have I been up to? Well, this I did weeks ago, but I'm still waiting to fit it because of these parts. But this week, I have been working on the image, the retropie image, and I've got it to a point where I'm happy with it. It's not final, and I'm going to tweak it a little bit, but I got to the point where I'm happy with it. Right, I'm going to come back to this later. I'm still using the DualShock, and it's still plugging straight in. There's no connectors, there's no wires, nothing. What I'm going to do is turn this on. Don't focus on the finger. There you go. What I'm going to do is turn this on, quickly show you the image, and then turn it off, and then I'll get back to this. Okay, so first things first, let's turn it on. Boy, I am losing light. I need to do this quickly. Okay, there's the drive light. You probably can't see it from there. There you go. Hey, flash, flash, flash. Right. So we're just going to go into the boot screen. And then from the boot screen, it's going to go straight into the PlayStation menu. There's going to be no retropie, nothing like that. It's just going to go straight into the menu. Okay, so we're here. Just games. Okay. Now, as you can see, along here, this is a lot like the Flux Capacitor and the Arcade Pi and the, the Doctor Who Pi. All of them have this, but this is slightly different. So we've got screenshots, box art, and then up here, where you would have a marquee, done a little bit of custom work. So there's a guy called Mudlord, I don't know what his name is, but the guy makes an excellent scraper for box art, for Emulation Station. I haven't been using it to scrape. What I have been doing is using it to add my own stuff. So I've been adding all my own box art because the American box art is 9 times out of 10 garbage. Like the European and Japanese box art is just insanely far and away better. Screenshots been using for my own, and up here, what I have done is created in Photoshop with help these splats. Now these splats here mimic these splats up here. What it is when, because PlayStation games don't have marquees, and marquees would be there. So rather than use that as a marquee, what I've done is added for each game how many players it is, and then put it in a splat to mimic that PlayStation splat. All different colours, all different shapes, all different numbers. So every game you'll see it change colour, you'll see it change shape, and you'll see it change number of players. I think I've done a pretty good job at matching it. Down on the left, let's make sure this is still on. Right, first things first, you'll hear the PSP stroke Vita stroke PS3 noise for each one. And as you can see there, it says 1 player, 2 player, 1 player, 1 player, 2 player, so on and so on. 4 player, there you go. Even though Bishi Bashi I think is 3 player, but it's to signify whether you can put in a multi-tap or not. Right. Also, because I'm adding in my own box art and my own screenshots, some of them I've just basically added the thing that makes me laugh the most. For example, Apocalypse starring Bruce Willis. I don't know why Bruce Willis is coming out of a toilet floor, but that's the one I'm going to add. Same as, where's Kay? Crazy Ivan. I don't know what that's all about, but if I'm adding my own screenshot, that's the one I'm adding. There is just under 200 games on here, all of which work, and some of which I've never played before, like this one. You play a little naked lad. I have no idea what this game is. I think it's only French, but it's actually a lot of fun. So, yeah, going through, we've got all the games that you want, all the games that you don't want, but I've put on there anyway for a laugh. Missing RPGs because I was never really into JRPGs, but I've got a couple on there. Translated version of Police Noughts, Power Slave, whatnot. Now, this is again pretty much finished, but technically work in progress. When you load a game, it does do the PlayStation thing of saying, look, there you go, PlayStation now loading 8-bit. I am probably going to change that because I'm thinking of renaming this thing from the PlayStation Classic to the PlayStation Legacy.
Interactive entertainment.
Okay. So yeah, we're in and we're running. Yeah, I'm thinking of calling it the PlayStation Legacy as opposed to the PlayStation Classic and not giving it a stupid punny name. Mostly because I am doing more to preserve the legacy of the original PlayStation than Sony was at this point. So, what I'm going to do is just shut this... Oh no, the other thing I've got to quickly show you is before I used to have screensavers. What I have now is this. So, we're going to scroll through the box art and the images that I put on, but also it's got music playing in the background. The music is like a what's it called? Vaporwave remix of the PlayStation 1. It's very loud at the minute, but a Vaporwave remix of the PlayStation boot screen. Let me just turn it off. I'm probably going to change it. I'm probably going to change it to a video as opposed to just cycling the images like I do on all my other builds. Mostly because I really want like an old grainy, staticky, fuzzy PlayStation screen. So I've seen a couple of videos that I like that I might just borrow and put on there. But right, let me just turn this off. Okay, going off. The fan wasn't on. Right. Very, very, very quickly, and I mean very quickly because I'm losing a hell of a lot of light here. I'm just going to go through what I've done here. Okay, so one of the cables I'm waiting for is an SD card extender. It's going to come out the back of the Pi and then go to here. So when I want to change an SD card, if I do want to change the SD card or take it out or back it up or whatever, I can pop it in here. Now, what I've built is a little SD card, essentially cap or cover to go over that so it doesn't look ugly, because rather than just putting an SD card in and out of one of these, you can just put the SD card in and then just plug that over it and it looks much, much nicer. So let me just swap hands. Okay, I'm going to take this out very, very gently because I'm doing it one-handed. Okay, so when this all gets put in, you'll see this is not a 3D print. This is from a piece of Perspex that I found under a bin that someone had thrown away. Everything I do with these builds, I do with hand tools from the pound shop. So everything you see here, the Perspex was found, and the tools that I use to cut it with are from the pound shop. Like, anyone can build this. And all it is a piece of Perspex, hand cut with hand tools, hand engraved, essentially, with just a knife. And then I've just made little stickers out of electrical tape. And it looks like a little memory card. Now what you'll see is underneath there's a big recess, and that is to sit on top of the SD card cover, essentially. So it will just sit in here. See? I've just cut that bit out. It's got no functional purpose, it will just make it look nicer. And it will be cleaner, and that's kind of what I was going for with this build, this is why I want to call it the PlayStation Legacy and not the PlayStation Classic. This is what we should have got. And I'm going to do it cheaper with hand tools and stuff from the pound shop and stuff that I found. And I'm going to do it for next to no cost. And I'm doing pretty well. So once these cables turn up, I'm going to screw it all up and it should be done. Hopefully, if China gets their act together. Come on, TikTok lads. All right, peace.